Have you ever notifications, expectations, and constant comparison, the question has become harder than ever to answer. And today we are going to explore exactly those hard questions and maybe find a way out of ourselves in the world full of noisiness and the world which is expecting so much from us. Welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I am Srimedha, and this is where we explore conversations that help us reconnect with ourselves and live with greater intention in life. And joining me today is Olga Ramora, and she is someone who believes that technology doesn't have to distract us from ourselves. When designed thoughtfully, it can actually become a tool for awareness, reflection, and personal growth. Olga, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Olga is an entrepreneur and a product designer, author, and a co founder of Moonly, which is a self discovery and wellness platform used by more than 10 million people around the world. She has spent years exploring how psychology, symbolism, mindfulness, and intentional design can help people understand themselves in a better way. Olga, it's wonderful to welcome you to the show. And to begin with, since you have worked in so many domains and sectors, and your work sits at the intersection of technology and self discovery, uh, I would like to ask you something because most of us feel like technology pulls us away from ourselves. How do you reinterpret this? Do you think technology can also help us discover ourselves?
Um, Thank you for that question. I think all depends on how we use the instrument. This is just an instrument, and the AI technology is a product of human thoughts, human learning. This all information is databased on human resources. So uh, there are different approaches on esotericism systems and the mix of these systems, or just choosing one or two or three systems. And we use not only Vedic astrology, but personally believe that it's my base and the lunar cycles and the system uh, for it that includes also mantras, yoga, practices of holidays or in lunar calendar holidays. And I'm not Indian, and this is more about knowledge, not a living tradition for me, but I'm interested very deeply. And uh, the base is Vedic astrology in our service, but also as research, as I made a research for myself, I was interested in the tarot system and the runic system, and we took education from masters, and I learned that there are a lot of uh, meanings, codes for the soul growth and a path from very material to um, mystic and spiritual is kind of the same process we go through, and different systems reflect it a little bit different in different languages. But I also met that some spiritual masters that are very deep in entrepreneurship, that of course very deep touched with IT world now, and they understand the technology, AI technology, and how the tech are developing now. I met different mm, uh, combination of system that they start from absolute, they start from all database, and For me, that different that uh, when I was learning Vedic astrology, it's different from Western astrology. When I was learning a tarot system, it's also different schools like uh, British school or French school. And I think that you have to be honest with your own path and choose something that closer to you. And that path is only about to be honest with yourself. And that instrument was born from my personal interest. I hope I answered the question. And of course, before I had experience of being a designer that I created mobile and web applications for companies and startups. So the design, the marketing, the interface take the only instruments, and we decide how we use it, how we communicate, and through the growth process of business, we met. Um, we met transformation when everything starts with personal interest and idea that I want to learn from the best masters, and I want to become master of my own life, to be happy, more happy than I was before. Then the business met the reality, the physical world, and through the implementation, that when idea come to realization, this one process. And in design school, we learned how to materialize our ideas. And when the business met market and real world, it's this other process. You have to make a choice every time. Uh, and this is age when you're keeping the egregor field in clear intention to help still. Doesn't matter if you need to play that marketing games, you have to play. It's funny. It's not so bad, I think, but you have to think differently. You have to good to make create a good content, meditation that really help people with a pure intention. But in marketing, there are different play and rules, and you learn and learn every time. So this is instruments, and finally only matter is your primary intention. As entrepreneur, I wanted to be happy, and I wanted to have opportunity to travel, to work in a coffee house and buy a coffee. I wanted to just have money for my coffee, to work in a good place. Then I wanted other things. I became mother, and I wanted to travel, and now I want to have my home. Uh, that's only about honesty with yourself, I think.
Absolutely, and that makes so much sense. And Olga, since you brought up Vedic astrology, tarot reading, and you mentioned that it had to do a lot with your own personal interests, and since you talked about technology as well, how do you think these might help us discover ourselves? How these might help in our own self discovery, especially when we have associated self discovery with definitions of achievements, careers, and social media profiles. So in such an era, how do you think these things might help us recognize who we are?
Yes, everything um, getting faster, and the time uh, changed, and the technology growing faster, and in our field we also meet new applications every day that we can use that image generator or another image generator, and this that make us crazy. And to be honest, all my instruments and psychotherapy and different meditations with deep relaxation or connection with the heart or connection with energy centers in body, it was working for some period, and then it it was not working also. And I'm also still looking um, new um, methods, new masters that go forward further. The Firstly, also always about back to yourself, be in contact with your true desire, and this training to sensitivity and um, feeling and the emotion and the contact with body and all that gives the opportunity to feel what our inner energy want us to go, which direction. Um, this is everyday practice, and our mission and slogan was be in contact with yourself. And this daily self-discovery guide is different keys and instruments that um, different for different people, I think.
Absolutely. And Olga, since you have explored so many domains, why do you think that stories and symbols still continue to resonate so deeply with people, even in this modern digital lives of ours? Do you think there's a definitive way as to why we can explain this? Stories, as in mythological stories, or maybe stories associated with astrological elements, or maybe just believing in symbols, anything like that.
I know one person, he's a very famous uh, editor uh, uh, in Russia. He made many 5, 6 journals, and everyone knows him. And in his personal blog, uh, he's telling that, and also Kanye West also said the same. So editors and musicians, they said people love stories. So when you can tell stories, you translate some meanings. This is a channel, and you can make it in different formats, in a film, in a concert, in a magazine article. And I also tried all many of these channels. I was a musician, I made a film, and we made a concert. I collaborate with musician a lot, with Moonlier, because we use meditative music in our meditations from those practitioners who do that music every day based, and do retreats for people. That is their path, soul path. So music means for me a lot. So this is our instruments, channels to tell those meanings that we believe in. And with time, I recognize that my story is a little bit changing with time. When firstly, I thought I have to help people, and then I recognized that I need to help myself, and that was a very long period, and I still learning. Then I recognized that I didn't know what to be woman, and I worked a lot. I wanted to be safe and protected, to have money, and that concept also is not about lunar female energy astrology, um, and now I'm learning to trust. And one day I also wrote a fairy tale about the priestess of Luna, moon, the moon. This is our uh, uh, how can, how can I say, the main character of the moon, and the AI astrologer in chat. So this is like my character from my personality, and she's also priestess in tarot arcana. and her meaning is keeping the key of the wisdom of the world, and um, what is behind, what is unseen. Uh, that creature, that character, and I made a fairy tale about her growing. So that small little girl that had a lot of problems with her, her childhood, and she didn't see her father most of the time, and finally she found the support from her grandmother and the nature and the moon, and support of the gods, and support of symbols, for example, crystal, amber, that represent the sun energy, and that energy also the fire energy of fire of the soul. So it's like a wish to live. What is very important for our choice, because you can't go up in your meditation if you not choose to live your life totally, be in contact with this material world that's also represented by lunar energy also. So it's our body, not only our um, emotions and our inner world. So as you see, the moon is the main planet in Eastern astrology. I think you know it.
Yeah, I do. And Olga, that was such a beautiful narration, and I really liked that the way you presented it all. And since we are talking about mental health, so many of our listeners here are balancing work, family, and personal challenges all at once, trying to stay emotionally healthy. Since you have worked on technology, you have studied the astrological aspects, if someone feels disconnected from themselves right now, where would you encourage them to begin to feel connected to themselves?
Um, I have a lot of instruments, but I would recommend first is nature, river or trees or forest, and this was my first steps. I started to run every day. My father uh, was training, and how would it say jogging? I don't know. Uh, so it's contact with body and nature. And the next practice that I used to save my mind from very unstable uh, uh, mm, condition is was the that formula for kind of not the pray, but um, I said I bring all my willpower back, and I talking it again and again. I bring all my willpower back from all experiences and the contacts and contracts, or maybe previous lives, and this is my wish. I get back my willpower. This is a very important. This is a um, contact with this center, and then the our inner center is the place where we're looking from to the world. We're looking not from outside as our parents, and for example, we're not. We start thinking, listening what inside. So we are learning to keep this crown, the center, um, and a lot of work I had with the psychotherapy about childhood programs, and mother and father and mother and grandmother grandfather teen programs, uh, to see what's going on with my programs, why I feel in that, why I'm doing that. And only this work helped me to grow with the product, with a team of around 30, 40 people in different time. And that opportunity to grow with product and the people nearby, uh, uh, only when you're working inside yourself, then you can help those people who nearby. I think that way.
Absolutely. And that's such a good way to start and a good place to start, I would say. Thank you so much for having this thoughtful conversation, Olga. If our listeners want to connect with you, where do you suggest they find you?
Sure. The application that we made last six, more than 6 years, called Moonly app, moonly.app. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to all our listeners, I think one idea that stays with me from this conversation is self discovery requires you to understand yourself with honesty and compassion. And when technology is created with intention, pure intention, that can become a bridge rather than becoming a barrier to that journey of ours. And Olga is definitely a standing proof of that. Thank you so much for joining us, Olga. And to all our listeners, take care of your mind, be kind to yourself, and keep growing one thoughtful step at a time. I'll see you in the next episode soon.